Greetings and welcome to this week's UC Weekly News. I'm your host, David Danto, and this week is unabashedly the junk show. I want to use a more a controversial term than junk, but junk's going to be the way to do it. Actually, there's some really cool gear. I have had it building up in front of me for months now, and I have not had time to go through this. And some of this is just consumer items, some of this is directly enterprise communications items. I just wanted to go through because I promised that I would share with people what some of these cool finds are, and some I'll be able to demonstrate, some I'm only going to mention, but I wanted to put it through. The first one we're going to talk about is the Insta360 camera that I have over here. It's the Link 2 Pro. I'm not using it right now. I'm going to switch to the virtual camera because I'm monitoring it on their app, which I will also show you. So let's switch to the virtual camera. Now I have to look over here. This is the Link 2 Pro. It's a very interesting thing, and I'll show you. Let me actually share the screen so you can take a look at what the video looks like in their control app. So this is what the Insta360 Link 2 camera controller looks like. There's a lot of capabilities here, and you're obviously seeing me with the delay because I'm being shot on a different camera. But if I put on the AI tracking feature, and if I shift over, you can see the camera move, and it's physically being blocked by something. That's what that black line is. It'll follow with me. Obviously, I don't prefer to use that. I have too much garbage behind me. So I put it on the preset shot. And this is how you can adjust those presets. You can put on background effects. Here's, let's get out whatever that is, the garden in the background. Yeah, you're seeing it off of a screen share. So it's a little choppy, and I understand that. There's full proc amp image adjustments, however you would want to do them. It's a nice sharp camera. I really like it. I'll switch to that view here. Let me just stop sharing. So it's obviously a really cool thing. It's not as applicable for me if I'm sitting here because I'm not really moving around. But you put it in a small conference room, or you attach it to their new video bar, and you've got some really amazing capabilities to have external cameras. So that was definitely one that I wanted to share. Here's another one that I wanted to show everybody that came in. This is the Jabra Evolve 385. These are not traditional unboxings, but I wanted to show everybody these units. It comes like that. It actually comes packed with a little guide on it, which tells you which is the left side and which is the right side. It comes in a case. Let me show you what it looks like when it's packed in the case. All right, so here it's a very thin, simple zipper case. You unzip the case. Looks like that in there. USB-C dongle, and this is a device. What's interesting about this is it comes with key charging, wireless charging. So when you put it on the charger, I don't know if there you see it's lighting up there. And I don't know if you can see the headphones lighting up. The indicator's on there somewhere. There it is. So that's how you charge it. You just put it down and leave it. And you can also obviously charge it directly with USB-C if you want to. Let me plug it in for a moment and see if I can get you some sound on it. So now I will put these on. You can see they're full ear covers. They're making my ears sweat. I'm not generally an ear cover person, but the sound isolation is awesome. The ANC is very good. And now hopefully you're hearing me talk on the record and you hear what it sounds like to be recording with this. So this is the Jabra Evolve 385. I also have the 75 here. But again, I think the most unique part of this, it's got a lot of features that I have to figure out how to use, including to connect. It shouldn't be as hard to connect as it just took me a little time to do. But again, the wireless charging is very interesting, and it packs so compactly. It's actually really cool. All right, let me switch back and I'll show you some more of the stuff that's been collecting up here. All right, so this next device that I wanted to share with you briefly is something that I picked up at CES this year. This is a Vasco handheld translator that's booting up right now. What makes this different than just a regular translation app that you would have on your mobile phone, this has a camera built into it, and the camera will let you take pictures of things and give you context around what they are. So if there's a street corner like in the Village in New York City, and you want to know why that street corner is important, or if there's a dish of food that's specific and interesting to a culture, it will give you a bunch of those cultural references in addition to the basic translation that it would provide. The most interesting thing about this product, however, is that it comes with a SIM card built in with unlimited usage in most countries of the world. You don't have to connect it to your phone. You don't have to use your own data. It comes as part of the purchase. So it's booted up. I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to show. It's an interactive touchscreen. And is it an interactive touchscreen? I thought it was. Device is starting, so it's still going through its boot up right now. Um, it's got service. See, there's the standard menu. If you want to take a picture, it is an interactive touchscreen. I was right. And you can take a photograph of something. See, there's the camera shooting things, shooting me. And again, it'll give you that cultural reference and information. But to get that in a handheld device and a one-time purchase with lifetime service, I found that to be really stunning. So that's definitely a product that you should look into. Not specifically communications as we know it, but certainly communications for the traveler and the business traveler. Okay, speaking of business traveler, this is a device that I just got from the Logitech folks called the Mobi Fold. I actually don't have it in the box. I have to take it out of the box, out of this bag that I have in, because I've already started using it with my ultra portable computer, and it's so small I can barely find it. Here it is. This is this is the Mobi Fold mouse. And if you open it like that, that's how you can get the mouse to actually start to work. So it's got three buttons here, a one, two, and instead of a scroll wheel, it's got a scroll touch point. If you press the button on the other side here, which I'm not sure if you can see it, that lets you toggle between working with either the dongle that it comes with, there's a USB-C dongle that it comes with, or as is the case with the ThinkPad that I use it with my new Ultra Portable, it connects directly via Bluetooth. I actually love the size of this mouse. You turn it off by folding it, you turn it back on by opening it up. I'm actually really impressed with how well it works. The only thing I don't like is when I'm using it, the left button, my finger is exactly in the right place. The right button, you see how it's a little bit higher than where the button press would be? I have to kind of stretch for that. It should be kind of tapered backwards a little bit. In the next generation, maybe they'll work on it. But that's actually a really cool device that I've enjoyed in using. So that's called the Logitech Mobi Fold, which I think is really good. While I'm at it here, there are a couple of Scosche products that I think were really cool, which again is more for traveling and mobility. This is a power bank with a nice little wrist strap so you can keep it. And if you press the button on top of it, it'll show you how much power is left. It's got 100% power. What I've never actually seen before is when you take the wrist strap and peel it away, the wrist strap becomes the USB-C that you can connect into your device, which I thought was actually kind of really interesting. I've never seen it that way before. You pull it back and it becomes the strap again. So they make some pretty innovative products. Here's another one that I'm not going to pull out of the box right now, but I do want to show you from the same manufacturer, Scotch. This is a magic grip for mobile phones, where when you place the phone on it, the key charging, the mag charger recognizes that the phone is there, and it automatically closes on it and locks it in and charges it while you're using it in your car, and it hooks up to the car's vent so it can stay stable. What I specifically like about this thing is that I use my mobile phone. I keep a battery case on it, so it's thicker than most mobile phones, and the battery case charges through. That's how I charge the phone. It works. This works with the battery case. With most of the chargers, most of the grips that are in the world, I have to take the grip off in order to be able to use it. So I actually thought that was pretty cool. And so they make some interesting devices. This is one that I'm going to open up and show you in a minute. This is the Open Meat Tube by Shokz. The company used to call themselves Aftershocks. Now they're Shokz. I used one of their earlier products. They did bone conduction, which connected to the bones above your ear canals. You'd be able to hear using bone conduction. And it was good, but there really wasn't a lot of bass. What they've done with this product now is they've done both. They've done both bone conduction and an open driver that sits in front of your ear and transmits through the air to your ear, so your ears are still not covered. So these are really good if you want to have excellent conversations using UC. And again, I'll plug them in and let you hear what they sound like. But you also want to hear what's going on around you. You want to hear if somebody's calling you. You want to hear if the doorbell rings. So this is a very interesting product. Let's see if we can get this one hooked up and do a test with it. Here's how it looks coming out of the box. Nice case. And like I said, this is my junk shell. I've got a lot of junk sitting on my desk here. This is what they look like. I got to give them a charge for a little bit, and then I'll show you what it sounds like. Okay, so now I am using this Shokz product, the Open Meat 2. As you can see, if I turn sideways, it's not covering my ear. It's just projecting sound into my ear, as well as giving me the bone conduction on my head. This is the boom. I'm sorry, right, left, right hand, left hand, hand on the heart. This is the boom. If I lift the boom up, it automatically mutes. But now you can get a sense of what it sounds like. Again, it's not as powerful as the headphones that cover your ears or the speakers that I have blasting right at me. But in an atmosphere where I need to hear if the doorbell's ringing and I don't want other people to hear what's going on in terms of the sound, I think this works pretty well. So this is how the Open Meat 2 works. A couple other products here that I wanted to share with you. And again, these are completely no specific order, and this is kind of all over the place. This is a company that I've just started becoming a little bit aware of, startech.com. They make a lot of accessories. See, they got the bag there. This is a multi-port power supply and charger with a fold-out plug that not only gives me charging for USB, but also powers my IBM ThinkPad or Lenovo ThinkPad, excuse me. So that's nice. And it comes in a case that they've provided. So that's a company that wasn't on my radar that is now, because a person that I respect is now working for them. One other device that I wanted to talk about, and again, these are all random and kind of all over the place. This is, and some of you are probably familiar with this, probably more familiar than I am. This is the Plaud pin, Plaud. I'm attaching it right now to the clip. So it's got a little clip that you can wear on your shirt. If you don't want to wear the shirt, it's got a simple plain magnetic back that you can stick on the back of this. So, oh, I've got it upside down. There we go. So I could actually just attach it to my shirt. What I'll wind up doing at trade shows is just attach it to my badge, and then it sits over there. And then when you want to start recording a conversation, you can just tap it and it'll start recording. And I think you can double tap it to highlight a certain part of the conversation. I haven't really been interested in using these, but it's and I've got it plugged in right now on a charging base that it comes with. So the base is a USB-C connector. What I really find useful with this product is if I'm sitting here on a video call, which analysts do almost all the time with companies, the companies that are giving us demonstrations and information are recording the call, and oftentimes I want those notes. So I either have to take notes, in which case I'm not really paying attention to what they're saying. I'm paying attention to my notes and I lose things. Or I could use my mobile phone, my mobile device to take notes. But honestly, I'm using my mobile device doing other things. I'm checking the truth of what somebody said. I'm looking up a product and doing some other things. So that's not really a practical solution for me. It's got to be an outboard device. This outboard device, if I press it to start recording when I'm having one of these meetings with a company that are giving me their presentations, when the presentation is over, all I have to do is move the data into my phone, and my phone either gives me an audio file and I can transcribe it myself, or if I want to use the Plaud cloud, I can use that. Some of it comes for free, and then over past a certain amount, you have to pay for it. And then the Plaud cloud will give me a transcription. So I have a transcription and notes right after a call. I don't have to wait for it to be sent to me. And if I'm having a conversation with a company that they're doing the recording because it's their Teams or their Zoom, and I'm at their mercy to send it to me, again, I now have a real-time recorder here that I can do it. And I will take it on trade shows with me. So when I'm having conversations with people, obviously you'll see I'm wearing it. People will realize the conversation is being recorded. I'll mention to them on video that the conversation is being recorded. So I'm not really worried about that part of it. But the idea is that I own everything that I'm hearing as an AI with this outboard accessory, and it's not tying up my phone and it's not tying up my video call or anything else. So I thought that was a really cool product, and I've started to use it and really get a lot out of it. All right, so that's some of the various devices and components and things that I've picked up over the course of the last 5 or 6 months that I haven't had a chance to share with you, that I did want to share and make sure that you're aware of. I have some other random little pieces in here as well that I'll get to. And before the end of the year, we're going to do some unboxings, where I'm going to actually go back to my test bench back behind me and sit down and show you how these things unpack and come out. But I had so many of these things stacked up in front of me that I wanted to at least get some of the mentions out here so that people understood that they were around and they were available and they were sitting on my desk, and they represent some good products in the industry. I'm your host, David Danto. Thanks very much for watching UC Weekly News. We'll see you on next week's show. Take care.